Hi, it's Rob. Just getting back from my ride, and I wanted to talk about some upgrades you can do to your bike. One thing a lot of people ask is, what is the single most beneficial upgrade that's cost effective and I get the most value for can I make to my bike? Well, unless you're Wout Van Aert, for every component and every little piece and part inside that component, there's a better piece, there's an upgrade you can make. Those upgrades are all expensive, and mostly it's a weight saving upgrade. You're trying to shave off micrograms. Is that worth it? Well, you are pretty much negating any weight gains that you have made or savings by adding all of this stuff into your pockets. In fact, this morning I probably negated hundreds of dollars of weight savings by adding that extra smear of cream cheese on my bagel. So where can we make these upgrades and get the most value, the most bang for our buck? I think the number one thing is a new wheel set. People downplay the importance of wheels, but that's one of the biggest parts of your bike. The most important thing. Without the wheels, you have nothing. Whether you're building a bike from scratch or whether the bike you just got at the bike shop came with some cheap factory aluminum wheels, getting a set of carbon fiber wheels is a huge advantage. They're way lighter, they're stiff, and they're strong. They are responsive. They come in various depths that really helps you customize what your needs are depending whether you're in somewhere windy or you want to do climbing. And let's face it, they look good. You want to look cool on your bike whether you're in a race or a group ride. So upgrading your wheel set's definitely one of the best things you can do. The downside to carbon fiber wheels is you can spend more on a wheel set than on your frame. But do you need to? On this bike, I have a pair of inexpensive Chinese carbon fiber wheels that I bought off the internet, and I want to show them to you and show you where you can save a lot of weight and money and still have a really good product. Now, I hate it when people do reviews on a brand new item that they haven't even used, and they'll even comment on the packaging. Oh, look how good the box is. I have over 10,000 miles on these wheels, and I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let me go change, and I'm going to take these wheels off, and let's break them down and see what we got. Talk to you a little bit about these wheels. I ordered them from a company called CSC, Carbon Speed Cycling, and I got them online. They're available on eBay, AliExpress, and straight from the manufacturer. And I'll put their website on the screen here and down below. They make a lot of other carbon products. They make handlebars, seat posts, a whole array of different things, even bike frames. One thing that I've come to realize, not just in the cycling industry, but pretty much everywhere, a lot of times you're paying a lot of extra money just for the brand name to be printed on the side. I have been completely satisfied with this product. When I went on the website and ordered it, they give you lots of options. I got the Poway 36 hubs. You have a couple different types of hubs you can choose from. I got the middle of the road price-wise. You also can pick different depths. I chose to get a mismatched set that they didn't even offer, so I emailed the company and they were able to do that for me, no problem. I got a 50 millimeters for the back and a 38 millimeter in the front. I wanted a little shallower rim in the front because where I live here in Chico, if we're out in the flats from the orchard, there's a lot of crosswinds which can really play havoc with your steering. Also in crits, when you're doing a lot of cornering, having that deep disc can sort of mess with that a little bit. So having a shallower front rim, I think really made a big difference. I think it looked cool too, having a little bit different size. Anyway, but let's take a look at these as far as how they are. I'm going to take a little trick I learned, take this pencil, and I'm going to hold it really tight against the brakes and touch the point to the rim, and then back it off just a hair. Then I'm going to give the wheel a spin, and I'm going to watch the gap between the tip of the pencil and the rim. And I'm also listening to hear any scraping of the pencil lead against the rim. And there is none. This wheel is still perfectly true. Now, I had this wheel trued about a year and a half ago after I got into an accident. When I crashed in a crit, I broke a spoke and the wheel tweaked a little bit, and I took it into the local bike shop. They put a new spoke in, straightened it up, and I have had no problems with it coming out of true. In fact, the only issues I've ever had with these rims is I've broken a couple spokes, which I don't think is really that rare and probably be the same with any type rim. One was in the front, one was with the accident, and the other was just in a crit where just going off from the start, one of the spokes broke. And I think that was probably because I was just putting so much power through my legs into the wheel. The other issue that I did have on this rim is the bearing went out at 9,940 miles. I have it on my Strava here. And ironically, that was actually the day before I bought my new bike. So I was left stranded, had to have my wife come get me because the wheel bearing went out in the back. So I'm not sure if that was the rim or if that was karma telling me I shouldn't be spending money on a new bike. But otherwise, I've been totally happy with these rims and haven't had any sort of problems. I took the front wheel off, took the spindle off, tire and tube, just so we can get a good look at just the wheel in its purity. If I want to take a few measurements, this is a 38 dish wheel, and we're measuring right at 37.7, and the width 23 millimeters. And if I check it in various places around the wheel, it's the same all the way around. So that just tells me that there hasn't been any bowing or any warping to the wheel. This one's also just as true as the back wheel. I've been running 700 by 28 tires on here. It can take anything from a 23, they set up to a 32, but I can't fit anything wider than a 28 on my bike, so I haven't tried that. But the 28s, it worked really well. The 23s were a bit narrow. When I ordered these, it gave us the option of a couple different hubs. I got the R38, sort of a mid-level hub. It also gave us the options of some colors for the hubs, for the nipples, and for the stickers. The stickers came a couple different options. I had the ones that were white and red. I thought they looked pretty good. You can see, I'll put a picture up here when they were brand new. They were just some vinyl stickers, actually kind of cheap, and they started to peel off after a little bit, especially once they got wet. So I ended up just stripping them all the way off and polishing up the wheel without the stickers, and I think that looks better anyway. It looks a little cleaner. Another option on these when I bought them was the type of carbon fiber, how you want it to look, matte or gloss finish. So I've been pretty happy with the aesthetics of them. The braking surface here, if I rub my fingers across it, there's a tiny bit of texture. It was a basalt surface, so it's supposed to be really good braking, and I had no problems. I always use the specific carbon fiber brake pads, and I've had no problems. There was quite a bit more texture when they were new, so that they are wearing down a little bit, it seems like. The one issue I did have with these rims, braking was always fine, except when it was wet. It was a little sketchy on a downhill descent when it started raining. There's some nicks and scratches in here just from me banging them around, but they're not delaminating any places. So quality-wise, they've held up pretty well. Now let's look at one more thing. The main reason you buy carbon fiber wheels is the weight. Let's just take a look. I wanted to weigh the front wheel. The back one seems like there's a lot more variables with this cassettes and the different hubs and whatnot. So I'm just gonna compare some front wheels just for, just to keep apples to apples. And I'm gonna put this on to ounces. In Europe, it'd all be kilograms, and I feel like just having a bike video with a British accent, you'd have more credibility. But since I don't have that, we're gonna go with ounces. We are at exactly 25.0 ounces for this front wheel. Now, just for comparison, I want to take a look at this wheel. This is an aluminum giant PR2. This is what came stock on the bike. There's really nothing special about this wheel. I have taken off the spindle, the tube, and the tire, so it's going to be the same. And 29 ounces. So it's considerably lighter. You can definitely notice it just holding it. For a little deeper dish rim, that actually weighs less. Is a nice function. And just for fun, I got one more to look at. This is an NV45. I got this for my new race bike. It's brand new. I haven't even used it yet. Now, I'm telling you that this inexpensive Chinese carbon fiber wheels are good enough. I'm not saying they're this. I'm not going to compare the CSC wheel to an NV wheel. That wheel may be a Camaro, a V6 Camaro. This is a Ferrari. So let's not confuse that. But just for fun, 24 ounces. So you're saving 1 ounce by having the less expensive wheels. Now this one wheel probably costs twice as much as that entire set. So is it worth saving 1 ounce? Well, I can guarantee you I have lost a lot of races. And never once has it been because of 1 ounce on my wheel. I can tell you for sure all the tactical errors I made, so I do not feel like it was the wheel would have made any difference in any of those. As you can see, I've ridden over 10,000 miles on these wheels and have had almost no issues. So I have no hesitation recommending these wheels if you are a recreational racer or just want to get a little bit better performance on a group ride or a century ride, or you just want them to look good. Pick yourself up some CSC wheels and you're going to save a lot of money and still get a lot of really good performance out of them. So if you like what you've seen, hit subscribe, hit like. I'm going to put some links to all of these wheels down in the comments below. And until next time, even if it's on some inexpensive Chinese carbon fiber wheels, lean to the corners and live in the drops.